Drive one from long range, and he's hit the top corner. It's a beauty for Daryl Fordyce. Here, and Lang's just gone past his marker and driven one into the back of the net. And FC Edmonton are on fire this afternoon. The sun coming out at Clarke Stadium. Welcome to our match today, presented to you by Flamin Fitness. FC Edmonton against Minnesota at Clarke Stadium. Conditions are just about perfect here at kickoff time for the match today. Eddie's in a rich vein of form and back on home turf again, where they're pretty dominant of late. 10 games unbeaten at Clarke Stadium. Home fans still arriving and trying to get behind their team as we bring you the coin toss, brought to you by A&W. Let's take a look at the starting lineups with Waterloo, Ford, Lincoln, and FC Edmonton sticking with a formula that's been serving them well the last couple of matches. Van Oekel, the man, playing against his old team today. A back four of Edward, Watson, Roberts, and Moses. Rodales and Jones in the middle of midfield. Lang taking that left wing spot. Niasi on the right, and Fordyce just behind Tomi Amiobi. And for Minnesota, Van Oekel will know this team very well. Hildebrand is the goalkeeper for them today. A back four of Davis, Diaz, Bitchkolen, Calvano, Steele, Venegas, and Jordan, with Ibarra just behind the front two of Campos and Ramirez. 3 games for Minnesota so far. Not off to the best start that they would have hoped for. Basically drawn 2 of the games and lost 1 so far this season, but back on goal-scoring form last week in a 2-2 draw against San Antonio. Weather conditions in Edmonton pretty good. We have had a few showers passing through the stadium, but right now at 9 degrees Celsius, that's about 49 Fahrenheit, and winds from the west at about 10k an hour. The field slightly damp, as I mentioned, some showers and even perhaps some snowflakes just moments ago here at Clarke Stadium.
Yeah, I think that's if you're wondering why so many fans are coming in late. It was a classic Alberta spring day. I think we had 4 seasons in about an hour. It was beautifully sunny. Then the rain and the wind started to come in. Then some snow flurries started to come in. Now the temperature's picked right back up, and the wind has died down, which is actually the thing that affects the game the most. And that's the thing that we like to see, is the flags are pretty calm right now. Hopefully it holds off for a couple hours so we can get game in good conditions.
Minnesota in their change colors today, a all blue strip. FC Edmonton in white shirts, blue shorts. Minnesota attacking the goal to our right, and Campos gets us underway, taking the kickoff with Ramirez. Minnesota moving that ball across the defense, and everyone getting a good touch early on here. FC Edmonton been on a tear in the Canadian Championship. Their last league win was actually back on April 19th, and that was that pulsating match against Fort Lauderdale, where they came from behind again to win, scoring 3 goals in the process. And they've been on target with 3 goals in each of the last 3 games, FC Edmonton.
And even though they played on Wednesday and will play the Whitecaps on this coming Wednesday in the championship, they're starting a full-strength lineup today. So they're going for it against Minnesota. There's no squad rotation today that we would see. So maybe that squad rotation will come on Wednesday against the Whitecaps. Not sure.
Campos might get a chance here on the left-hand side, and he slips it through nicely into the penalty area. There's danger here. And Van Oekel can't keep it out. It's driven underneath him, and that's a dreadful start for FC Edmonton again. And Ibarra was the one with the final touch. But a comedy of errors in the defense for the Eddies, and they've fallen behind early again. We've only played a minute and a half.
I have that goal at 1 minute 11 seconds. So now the Eddies this season given up 2 goals in the first minute, and now a goal in the second minute. Looks like that deflected off of someone before it went in. I don't know if they're going to rule that an own goal. I think my inclination would be to rule that an own goal, that it's not Ibarra's goal. But, you know, we'll see how that's ruled. But I do think that that ball would not have gone in if it had not taken the touch off an FC Edmonton player.
Minnesota straight into the lead. We've played just over a minute, and FC Edmonton have put themselves behind the 8 ball again. This is a theme that they're going to want to stop this habit very quickly, and I'm sure Colin Miller very frustrated on the bench there, because it's just happened far too often this season.
Again, just no one picking up, and no one seemed to know where to go in the box, and a lot of chasing of the ball, and either it's a matter of some players over pursuing on the ball and other players not reacting to the man. And you know, Miguel Ibarra is a player that they got to be well aware of. He's an American national team player, and to give him that kind of space, but as well just the way that Minnesota was able to spring free with a fairly simple ball down the left channel. They weren't reinventing the wheel with that attack. It wasn't as if they spread the ball around and pushed and pulled Edmonton back and forth. It was a ball down the left channel that Edmonton just couldn't handle. And again, looked like they'd fallen asleep off the start of the game.
Well, Van Oekel, that's not the start he would have wanted against his old team. A ball that bobbles underneath him. And first action he has is picking the ball out of the back of the FC Edmonton net. And the home team behind 1-0 to Minnesota, and that'll be a confidence-boosting goal for them. FC Edmonton trying to get something moving with Jones attempting the pass out wide to the right, but Ibarra too easy for him there. He plays the ball back into his defense, and Diaz, a sure defender, and we've seen him in Edmonton many times. A lot of these players we've seen play well over the years in this match that's been become known as the Flyover Cup between Edmonton and Minnesota. Barra playing through the midfield, picking out Steele in a bit of space just behind the forwards. He's got an overlapping run on the left-hand side, but it's a good start for Minnesota here. There goes the cross to the far post, and Venegas just can't really do enough with it, and it's a goal kick for the Eddies.
I'm sure we'll have a little more looks at that goal too, but I do feel though that the way Ibarra had squared that ball, he was squaring it across goal, and I think you have to rule that an own goal, Gareth. I think that hits an Edmonton player in front and it goes in. I don't think by any estimation of the rule, the ball has to be goal bound from Ibarra for it to deflect off a player and him to keep the goal. I do have to take a look at it again. We'll see which player that actually bounced off of. There's a few white shirts there. I do think that's going to be an OG.
Throw in here for the Eddies on the left-hand side as they try to respond. And it's Kareem Moses taking this one. Good throw down the line. He's picked out Tomi Amiobi, trying to wriggle away from his marker. He digs out the cross. Not a bad effort, that one, but away by Diaz. Fordyce trying to win it back on the edge of the penalty area. He's tackled. It'll be another FC Edmonton throw in. Moses picking out Amiobi again. But Minnesota once again playing themselves out of the danger and conceding another throw in. It's bright sunshine now. We had that snow and dark clouds just before kickoff. Beautiful weather at the moment as Jones has the ball for Edmonton. Down the right wing. They haven't really been able to get Niasi in the play so far, and nor can they there. It will be a throw-in for Minnesota. Manny Lagos, the 2014 NASL Coach of the Year, will have done his homework on Edmonton's wingers, where a lot of the joy comes from. So far, he's been well prepared, and Niasi's hardly had a kick of the ball in the opening exchanges.
As you said, that this is where Edmonton has to go to be successful. You're going to have to get the ball wide to Niasi and Lang. Niasi's been a great addition to this team because it's given him that strength both down the right and left sides. Teams can't key on Lang like they did last year. Niasi forces teams to spread wide on both sides. Edmonton wants to go right down the width of the pitch. They want to be able to go touchline to touchline.
Minnesota having the better of the early exchanges, though, and Venegas has made another break on the right-hand side. Heavy first touch let him down, and Moses cuts that one out. It's a throw-in. Diaz in the yellow boots has interchanged through the midfield. Ramirez dropping deeper to come and get that one. Ramirez and Campos, it's definitely a forward line to be reckoned with. Here is Ramirez looking for that flick on the edge of the penalty area. They'll try and switch play again to the right. Johnny Steele had a lot of touches in the early stages, and here's Venegas with a chance to cross. He's got it deep to the far post. Campos trying to bring it down and fashion a shot on target, just misses, and Van Oekel will have a goal kick for FC Edmonton.
The Eddies now just got to settle it down. They know, unfortunately, they've been in this position a lot. I mean, this is a team that's almost getting to the point where they're used to being down very early in a game, or being in this position where they've got to pick themselves up off the mat. But you don't want to be here. You don't want to be flirting with this all the time. They've been lucky enough to get away with it most of the time, except for maybe the game in Jacksonville at the start of the season where they gave up a goal 12 seconds in. But these starts are now getting very, because it's every week. It's the key to the game every week that I seem to be bringing up.
Well, FC Edmonton felt they might have had an advantage there, but the decision given against Pitchcola and a free kick, the referee deemed it to be serious enough to blow the whistle. And there it was on Amiobi. And so he's given a free kick, and perhaps here's a chance for FC Edmonton to test Hildebrandt. Watson's forward for this one. Amiobi standing on the edge of the box at the far post. Lang and Rodales over the ball, and Edward is pulled off wide to the right-hand side. And Lang's shaping to drive it, and he's hit it well, but just not on target. And that gets some applause from the crowd, but never really threatened the goal.
Looks like it took a little bit of a deflection off an Edmonton player as it came through. Didn't look like it held a straight line. Looked like it did tick off someone in there who's standing in front of the Minnesota wall.
Minnesota with a 1-0 lead in the early stages at Clarke Stadium. The first 10 minutes of the match. And that early goal inside 2 minutes is the difference between the teams at the moment. Another sluggish start for FC Edmonton, trying to get something going, but Diaz again very confident in defense. Amiobi trying to sneak in behind the back here, but he's also played very well by Davis, who does a nice job getting the ball back to his goalkeeper. Johnny Steele, that's impressive control on the thigh. At the moment, Minnesota looking pretty happy and dictating the play. FC Edmonton just can't get going at the moment. Calvano's hit a long ball forward. Campos is dangerous in the air. Watson's close to him, makes the tackle. It's away by Moses. It's a fight for the ball. Venegas getting it back, and now Steele. Pitch Colin helping it along to Ibarra. Just couldn't control it. And Fordyce has found a bit of space and has support from Edward. Tries to turn it around the corner again. Just not quite coming off. Jones not able to get there. And Minnesota have the ball again. Fordyce finding Niassi this time. Niassi moving infield and just pokes it around his man but loses possession. Venegas has got an overlapping run on the right. Ibarra covers so much ground every game, and there's a deft little flick to the goal line. Venegas couldn't get the cross back in. That's going to go out for a goal kick to FC Edmonton. Some silky skills from Ibarra there.
Yeah, Ibarra, you know, as a player, as I mentioned, is well known to everyone in North America by now. As an NASL player, has broken into the American national team program. Jurgen Klinsmann has a lot of time for Miguel Ibarra, and it's the skill level. We saw him last year, one of the top players in the league. What him and Christian Ramirez can do to you offensively is scary. And Minnesota's off to a slow start, but nobody in this league believes they're going to stay down here for a long period of time. No, it's a matter of time before they go on a run of form where they're going to win a few games in a row and get right back to where everyone expects them to be, which is at the top. No one, absolutely no one in this league does not expect Minnesota to be one of the top 4 teams in the postseason at the end of the year.
Still only that one loss. Is very early, just 3 games played, couple of draws, and maybe just finding their feet here and trying a few different formations out. Looking like they're back with the 4-4-2 today, which worked for them last week. Niassi's got some space on the right-hand side this time. Looks for the early cross to the far post. Doesn't quite drop for Lang, and Johnny Steele has a potential counter attack here. Decides to slow up the play. Exchanges passes with Pitch Colin. Watson's over to cover that one from Campos. The ball out of play anyway for an FC Edmonton throw in. It's with Roberts. Helps it on for Moses. Steele very close to Lang. They've done a good job blocking the wingers down. Minnesota here for FC Edmonton. They've done their homework. But it's Roberts coming across there to make the defensive tackle.
Poor pass by Lang there, gets picked off, and Roberts does well to intercept that and read that ball down the middle, cut it off, and cut off the danger. But there have been some poor passes by FC Edmonton in the first 15 minutes of this half.
Trailing 1-0 to Minnesota. Lang trying to steal possession back here for the Eddies. Amiobi's in the middle. If he can just find him, it's an early cross, and it's well anticipated by Hildebrandt, because without that interception, it was a clear chance for Amiobi.
Hildebrandt was already cheating off the line as Lang was sprinting to the corner, understanding where the danger was going to come from, knew that he had to be quick or else Amiobi was going to have a clear chance on goal. Well read by the Minnesota keeper, anticipated the pass before it happened.
Good little breakaway there for FC Edmonton, though. And here, a nice pass over the top by Fordyce. Amiobi's onto it. Tries to skip around 2 defenders. He's still got possession. Finds Fordyce, and overlapping here is Niassi with a shooting chance. And he's just put it over the top. But that's the best action so far from FC Edmonton.
And that's the danger down the wings. Edmonton loves to spray that ball. This time was Amiobi getting around and being able to keep possession into the middle, and then they spray it down to the right side. Niasse just can't keep the ball down over the volley, but that's how Edmonton likes to play the ball wide. That's the challenge. Minnesota's fullbacks have got to be aware at all times throughout 90 minutes today that Edmonton's going to try to get around the back on them, because that's what Edmonton does well. It's not a secret around the league. Everyone knows Edmonton will get the ball wide, but it's a matter of, are Lang and Niasse talented enough that you know it's coming, but you still can't stop it?
Almost a carbon copy of the Niasse goal that we showed you just before the game against Ottawa, where he hit the top corner. And that's wonders for his confidence, and both wingers on the score sheet and creating goals so far this season for FC Edmonton. Ramirez trying to charge down Edward, but he's pushed a long pass up towards the head of Amiobi. His flick on doesn't quite work though, and Minnesota have possession back. They give it away to Moses, but poor first touch by him, and the ball's with Steele again. Along the deck to Campos. Campos gets the ball stuck in his feet, but he's done well to ride a couple of challenges. Still has possession for Minnesota. Hasn't really had the impact that he would have been looking for so far. Carried away from possession again there. And Roberts is going to have to watch this one carefully, and it's a good, sensible backward header to his goalkeeper, but knew where the danger was, and he handled that one very coolly. Middle of the park for Jones, chips one over the top. It's a nice pass. Lang could be in here with a chance. Tried to get the right foot shot away. In the end, ended up going down, and that just didn't quite work out for him.
Remember, Lang bruised his knee Wednesday, was removed after 45 minutes against Ottawa there. Got up a little bit slowly there.
Bitch Colin with the crossfield pass. All the Minnesota players looking comfortable on the ball. They've got a 1-0 lead. We're approaching the 20th minute. Watson giving Moses a bit of a hospital pass there, but Moses gets rid of it and makes a very fine interception there and picks out Lang. This is could emerge as a decent counter for FC Edmonton. Fordyce winning with a crunching sliding tackle. The crowd like that one, but still the ball slipping away from him. He's trying to get it back. Good defensive play by Fordyce, but just a touch frustrated perhaps towards the end, and fouling pitch goal.
There we see Edmonton with some pressure up high on the ball, not allowing the Minnesota defenders any time on space on the ball to get composed to make a pass. Some good pressure there applied by Daryl Fordyce there, Lance Lang, even Kareem Moses backing up as a fullback there, and just getting on the ball, not allowing the player to get comfortable. Sure, you foul him there, but that's the coach will take that. He likes to see the pressure, force the Minnesota to make a quick, ill-advised pass or defender into a mistake.
Watson stooping to get a header there away from Campos. The ball with Lang again. Lang has been watched very, very closely by Venegas or Steele or a combination. That's been an assignment. They've shut him down very, very well in the first 20 minutes as Minnesota have a 1-0 lead. Just moving Moses back a little bit. Another throw in. Fordyce getting a touch on that one. Amiobi's on the end of it. Just holds up the play. There weren't very many players in the box. There are now for Lang. And there's one of them, and it's a terrific save by Hildebrandt to deny Fordyce.
Absolutely wonderful save there by Hildebrandt. Reached behind himself to get to that ball. It looked like that was going in. Wonderful cross by Lance Lang here. Daryl Fordyce measures it well, and yes, he's reached right behind himself to fingertip that away. Great save by Hildebrandt. It's one of those things. It's great football. Edmonton does everything right, but the keeper just a little bit better.
Very fine fingertip save there by the Minnesota #1. But Edmonton still have a corner here. Niasi's the one over the ball. It's gone in towards the near post. Not the most dominant defensive header by Venegas. Concedes another corner from the other side.
And he slaps his keeper's hands because he knows he made a mistake there. His keeper was coming out to catch that ball. Hildebrandt was calling him off there, and he headed it on anyways. That could have been disastrous for Minnesota, that miscommunication. Because if that ball stays in play, then Hildebrandt's vacated the goal, and that ball's been flicked somewhere. Luckily for Minnesota, that actually goes out of play.
Niasi takes this corner short, gets the ball back from Jones, plays it to the edge of the box. Caught in two minds or something there, but Lang slides it back into the area. Not quite the set piece that FC Edmonton was looking for, and now they're in a fight for possession, and Campos wins a free kick.
No, they've worked on that play. We've seen that before, where Lang goes to the top of the box to tee up a shot, and that's what they were trying to do, except Lang wasn't there when they tried this play. And Raudalis there fouling Campos. But yeah, we've seen them try that off corners before, where they try to slide the ball to the top of the box for Lang to get that big left foot on. But that time, Lang wasn't anywhere near that spot where we normally see him occupy, right outside the top of the semicircle there.
Minnesota leading 1-0 with a free kick to the edge of the box. Campos the target, beaten in the air by Watson. Steele has it though, protects the ball well. Breaks to the edge of the penalty area. And at the end, it's going to be a goal kick for FC Edmonton. We are halfway through the first half, and it's 1-0 to Minnesota. Kicking off the ground. Pitchcolan gets a touch, but it might drop for Lang. Free kick given to FC Edmonton for that previous tussle involving Aaron Pitchcolan. Lang's going to drive it to the far post. Good ball to Amiobi. It found him, just didn't quite get the connection that he was hoping for, but he appreciated the pass.
There have been warning signs here for Minnesota that the Eddies feel, I think, that they can get those crosses into the area. They're going to win those battles in the air. We saw it with Daryl Fordyce with a clean header that was, again, that fantastic save from Hildebrandt. But again, there, Amiobi marked, I think that was Calvano or Thiago who was on him, and Amiobi was able to leap and beat him to that ball.
Middle of the field here for Jones. That's a perfectly measured pass for Lang inside the fullback. All kinds of white shirts in the penalty area. He can't pick one out. And Steele heads it away. One back by Moses. Good turn. Looks for the curler to the far post. Struck it well, but didn't quite get the angle. And it goes in the hole.
The right foot of Kareem Moses. That's not his strong foot there. I'm not sure if that was an attempt to curl that inside the post or if he was looking for Amiobi at the far post. But again, some warnings from Edmonton that they're getting down this left wing. And right now, it's been a tough road. I think that for Johnny Steele, he's playing outside there on the wing. He's got to maybe pull back a little bit because Lang is really pushing on him. Also have Venegas back there. Venegas playing behind Johnny Steele on Minnesota's right side, Edmonton's left side. And right now, Lang is being able to get behind them.
Just finding a bit more space than he had done earlier in the game. Here is Lang again. He's got a man out wide to his left. Still fighting for possession, decides to go towards the middle. Roberts keeps the ball alive. Not the best pass from Watson to Moses, put him under a bit of pressure, but the through pass will be easy for Van Onkel.
Lang got lucky there. His back pass to Milan Roberts was only about a foot away from being a terrible giveaway to Pablo Campos.
Roberts, a model of consistency this season, though, and again, very well defended on that occasion. He's trying to win the ball back there, and he does. Good tackle once more.
And obviously, Campos has had his injury problems the last couple of seasons, but a few seasons ago, he was one of the elite players, elite attacking players in this league.
Barra's around the back here on the right wing. He's gone deep to the far post. It'll miss Campos, but Pitchcolan will pick up possession. He's crossed back into the penalty area, headed away by Rodales. Lang's clearance not the best. Well defended by Pitchcolan. Does well to get another cross in. The moment FC Edmonton just handing the ball back to Minnesota.
I don't think Rodales seemed to panic there. He took that and just whacked it down the field. He had time there to settle that ball down, maybe look for something. And I guess, you know, just discretion is a better part of valor, and he decided, I just got to get this out of here, relieve the pressure.
Steele. Nice play switch to the left-hand side. Davis's cross is safety first by Roberts. Chooses to concede the corner kick for Minnesota. Didn't really know who was behind him, and decided that he wouldn't take any chances. Steele's gone over to take the corner kick there in front of the Eddie supporters. He's chipped it up nicely, and it's very well claimed by Van Onkel. And look at the situation here for FC Edmonton. Lang streaking away. Ibarra shadowing him well, but if they get this ball quickly over to the right, Niasi's got a chance. Niasi cuts inside, and he just took a touch too many. And the keeper again, Hildebrandt, has looked in pretty dominant form for Minnesota.
Hildebrandt gambles here. He comes off the line very early. Gambles that Nias is going to turn that. I think he's trying to come out to block a shot, really. He's thinking of taking away an angle. Niasi's touch is heavy, and Hildebrandt, because he's so far out of goal, just has to leap on that ball. But Hildebrandt a couple times has gambled and won. Very aggressive goalkeeper.
Welcome to our broadcast if you're joining us in the US on ESPN3. We're live in Edmonton and Minnesota with a 1-0 advantage with 15 minutes to half-time. A goal that Ibarra had a handle in, but could actually potentially have been an own goal so far at Clarke Stadium, the only goal that's been scored. In the end, Edmonton growing in confidence.
In the end, it's a scoring decision. In the long run, it doesn't really matter in the scheme of things other than statistics. But the rule says if the ball's not going goalward and it's deflected, it should be an own goal because it wouldn't have gone in. I don't think Ibarra's shot was goalward. I think it was going across the goal.
Moses, nice bit of skill to beat Pitchcolan, and then Steele tried to pass it out wide to the left and find Lang, but won himself a free kick for a late tackle after he made the pass. Good break forward there by Moses, again, who we've mentioned several times this season. It just seems to get better every game.
You know, he came in and really was a project player last year, coming in from Trinidad and Tobago, a player that was recommended to FC Edmonton by Stephen Hart, the former national team coach, who's now coaching the Trinidadian national team. Said, you know what, guys, this is a guy you should look at. I think he could really use the chance to play pro in North America. A guy with so much raw talent, but just really needed the coaching and then the ability to more think through the game. And it seems to come every week with him just a little bit more.
kick that Moses won is going to be taken by Lang. It will still drop to the far post there, and Fordyce, after that deflected cross, drops into the penalty area. Ameobi turns and gets the shot away. That's the kind of confidence he's got at the moment. But this one straight at Hildebrand.
Minnesota's going to have to change something because the goal is coming for Edmonton. You can feel it. They're getting a lot of joy on crosses into the box. They're winning a lot of these battles. Again, Ameobi not able to get everything on the shot, but he wins the ball, is able to turn and shoot around Calvano there, and he's going to need some help because right now Edmonton, when they're crossing in, they're winning the first ball.
Very good matchup developing here at Clarke Stadium with Minnesota 1-0 in front, but FC Edmonton probing away, creating a couple of chances. Hildebrand with two very fine saves so far, and one of them spectacular. Rodales through the middle looking for Ameobi, tried to play a 1-2 with Fordyce, didn't quite work out. Jordan brings the ball away to find Ibarra, and then Pitchkolan. Some good passing by Minnesota, just to calm things down a bit. Steal on the chest, Lang robs him from behind. It's going to be a throw in for FC Edmonton for Kareem Moses. Niassi making a tackle to win the throw-in for FC Edmonton. Just gets things moving again, finds Edward. To the box for Jones. Jones starts to hold play up, find Ameobi there, but Minnesota have got men back, and Ibarra makes a pass away from the danger zone. The Eddies winning it back though, and just maybe turning the screw a little bit here as Watson plays the ball out to the right wing, but that one's into touch. Throw in Minnesota. Misplaced header from Campos gives Eddie Edward a throw in.
On the other side there, with the ball being out on the other wing, Johnny Steele came over and was talking to Manny Lagos, probably getting some instructions. We talked about Edmonton getting some joy down the left wing.
Could have been well placed for some more inroads down the left side there, but Moses' pass just too strong for Lang. Davis on the left wing, just past halfway for Minnesota. Venegas has got Steele ahead of him. Ibarra looking for a 1-2 with Pitchkolan. Nicely played. And there's the chance on the edge of the area for Ramirez. That's charged down by FC Edmonton. Ibarra picking up the ball again.
Edward fell down there, gave Minnesota a bit of an opening there when Eddie Edward fell down, but coming over, I think that was Milan Roberts that was able to block that shot.
That's another nice through ball fired by Ibarra. Chance for Van Oekel to steal it back. And he does, getting down low at Campos. And a good overarm throw to release Lang perfectly into his stride. Lang chasing away on the left-hand side. He's got an early cross opportunity there, but beats everyone. Just maybe a bit too much adrenaline. And that one flashes across the pitch.
Lang just outran the whole team. Everyone was well behind him. He had Amiobi coming in late, but really no other option behind Amiobi. And then once that cross was overhit, no chance for Niasse on the other side to maybe go out and save that ball. But again, Lang, another run down the left. And that's the issue for Minnesota right now. That seems to be the spot where the underbelly is, if so I may say. The spot where they seem that they're most vulnerable to an attack.
Rodales for FC Edmonton. Well, in the end, a bit of an aimless pass by Jones, and Hildebrandt picking it up for Minnesota.
Jones misreading Niasse there, thought that Niasse was going to go, but Niasse was actually going back towards Jones. Would have been an ankle breaker for him to turn around and be able to run onto that ball. Game's pace has really slowed down the last 5 minutes.
Not the best kick by Hildebrandt, one back by FC Edmonton, but taken away by Venegas, and a through ball looking for Campos, and Van Oekel deciding to just blast that one over the top, but he's turned defense into attack because Amiobi comes away with the ball. Calvano doing a good job to dispossess him to throw in for FC Edmonton.
He caught Minnesota flat-footed there because I think everyone was expecting him to wait for that ball to come in the box, and he was just going to pick it up. And when he decided just to walk right into it and walk into the ball to knock it down long, caught Minnesota's defenders flat-footed, gave Amiobi the chance to get behind. But man, Van Oekel, the one thing you can't deny about him is what a leg he's got. He can kick the ball at any time, 3/4 of the length down the field, and he can pin a defense. He catches them.
Moses trying to work that throw in down the left-hand side. In the end, it is just cannily played there by Steele to win a goal kick for Minnesota.
Yeah, and Johnny Steele there with Albert Watson and Daryl Fordyce on the Edmonton side and Johnny Steele on the Minnesota side. That's 3 players from Northern Ireland in a game here in North America.
There's one of them, Watson winning the header. And it drops for Moses. Moses, big up and under. Just work out there for Lang again. Good first touch to Fordyce. Gets the ball back beautifully into his path. Niasse's at the far post. Lang's cross headed away by Diaz. Jones got something on that one. Amiobi just riding the tackle. Hildebrandt's out quickly again and gets the stop. Amiobi going down. There were appeals for a penalty. I don't think so. I think it was very well timed by Hildebrandt. We've seen how quick he is to come off his line for Minnesota, and it saved them again there. Ibarra winning a free kick.
I think Edmonton there was saying when Hildebrandt sprayed the ball out there, when the ball went into touch, it should have gone for an Edmonton throw. And again, Edmonton's players were like thinking, why is the play going on there? We'd have to see on the other sideline, but they felt that should have been a throw in Edmonton. But I think you're right there. I think that's 2 players going for the ball it's a good decision by the referee just to keep the whistle in the pocket, let the play on. Yes, they do make contact, but I do think Hildebrandt's going for the ball. I think he gets ball first. Amiobi's going for the ball as well. I think that's just two players playing football. I don't think that's anything else about that.
Steele with the free kick. It's gone up to the far post. It's beaten everyone in the end and is out of play for a goal kick to FC Edmonton. Last 4 minutes of the first half. Minnesota leading 1-0, and it's been that way since the first minute of the match.
You know, really, after the first 5 or 6 minutes, Edmonton's done a good job. Minnesota really haven't had many looks outside of that first goal. But again, it's the first minute of games. It's just been a killer for FC Edmonton.
Coleman on the chest. It's taken away from him by Moses, and now Watson. Edward chipping one down the right-hand side, flicked on by Jones. Niasi's chasing it. Defended well again by Minnesota. Steele in the middle of the field. Oh, it's a poor pass from Steele. Amiobi's got a chance here to score. Oh, and it comes back off the post. Steele with a dreadful mistake. Amiobi is all of a sudden one-on-one with Hildebrandt. He beat him all ends up, and it just curled onto the post.
Yeah, we talked about Steele getting beat on the wing there, but what a dreadful back pass. And I think Amiobi thought that was in because he started strolling away like that's in. And it goes off the inside of the post and stays out. Most of the time it hits the post like that, it's going to roll in. It's going to get enough momentum off the inside with the spin and stay in. But geez, Edmonton's got to be thinking, what's going on here? Big save on Fordyce, and now Amiobi right off the post.
Moment of madness for Steele there. And a gift that Amiobi just couldn't take. Here's the pass, turns around, decides to go back. What is he thinking? Didn't look. There's Amiobi. And he just actually stops it, and that takes it onto the post.
Yeah, Hildebrandt gets a piece. We have to give the credit to the keeper there. He does get part of his arm to the ball, changes the direction of the ball. We have to put that down as a shot on goal and a save, not a direct shot off the post. Well done by Hildebrandt, who actually probably, you'd have to say, has been Minnesota's best player so far.
Gets a clearance away there as well as Niasi tried to get a shot towards goal. It's with Edward down the right-hand side. He's going to have a free kick, a good chance here for FC Edmonton just before halftime. 1 minute before the break.
Edmonton's run into some very good goalkeepers so far this season. Or goalkeepers playing out of their minds against the Eddies. But Hildebrandt there, when we had to look at it again, yes, got a piece of that. That's a save, folks. And the save he made earlier on Fordyce was tremendous. As much as the Eddies hurt by that first minute, they could be up 2-1 here. And really, on the balance of play, deserve probably to be even, at least going into half, because they've created most of the chances after that first 2-3 minutes.
Free kick from the wing. It's a poor one. And it's easily away from the danger zone. A bit of a waste there from Lang. He'll try and send it back out to him if he can make amends here. Gets the ball on his left foot again. Still going now, tries the shot. That's charged down as well. There won't be any time added on at the end of the first 45 here. We're moments away from the halftime whistle.
Maybe time for this last throw and a roll of the dice here for Edmonton on an attack. And they get the ball in quickly.
Moses makes a good break there, tries to release Amiobi from the left. He's got a corner for FC Edmonton. There may just be time for it. Yes, he takes the corner short. Lang doesn't get a chance to put it into the box. Maybe not the time to take a short corner. And that is the first half. FC Edmonton making another nightmare start and going behind inside 2 minutes, fighting their way back into the match since that time, but unable to capitalize on the chances they've created. So at half-time, it is 1-0 to Minnesota. We'll take that lead into the second half, and we'll be hearing from both coaches here at half-time about that first half. Another entertaining one here at Clarke Stadium, but another one in which the home fans will be cursing at start that left Edmonton in a bit of a hole. Let's talk to Manny Lagos, the coach for Minnesota. Manny, just tell us what impressed you about your team in that first half.
Well, it was a great start for us. Obviously, getting the early goal and the energy we showed and some of the movement was outstanding. So I didn't think we really followed up completely with a good 45 minutes. So I think you know, Edmonton came back and had some nice chances, and I think it's going to be important for us to build on, you know, the qualities we had at moments, but more consistent.
Some good saves by your goalkeeper there. Just your analysis on the way he played for you that half.
Oh, I thought he did a great job. You know, I think he even got a piece of the one that went off the post. So, you know, he's come in and done well. And again, he stepped up for 45 minutes. He stepped up well.
Thank you, Manny.
Thank you.
Manny Lagos, the 2014 NASL Coach of the Year, joining us, and pleased, but thinks that his team didn't quite follow up on their good start in the early stages. Let's hear what Colin has to say.
Coach, unfortunately, again, we're talking about a disastrous start to a game, and it looked like to us to be an own goal. What did you see?
I just saw Santa Claus coming to town again. Eddie, I don't know if he's got rollerblades on here today or what, at right back, but he slipped a couple of times. So it was just an awful start again for Steve. But I have to say that I thought overall we were the far better team there in the first half. We created a number of good chances. The guys look up for it again, and you know, we can't go to sleep against the quality of the side that Minnesota is, but I've got to say that probably some of the best football we've played all season has been this first half, and we're still a goal down, which is disappointing. But we'll have a few things to say at half-time, and we'll correct one or two things that I've seen not going so well, but I'm very positive that if we continue to keep the tempo of the game up, I think really we've got a lot of pace in our team. I don't think Minnesota are handling it very well at the moment. If we can keep that tempo up, I think we can go on and get a result here, but it's going to take a big effort in the second half.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Colin Miller pretty pleased with the way his team actually approached that first 45 minutes, and echoing what Manny Lagos said as well, that he would have expected more out of Minnesota. But it is Minnesota who have the 1-0 lead at halftime. Welcome back to Clarke Stadium, and our game today presented by Flamin Fitness. FC Edmonton against Minnesota. The Eddies attacking the goal to our right in this half. FC Edmonton in white shirts, blue shorts, and white socks. And there we go with Minnesota all in blue and holding on to a 1-0 cushion from the first half. Fordyce gets things underway in the second half, straight out to Lang on the left wing, and he tries to have a go at Minnesota early doors there, but just runs the ball into touch. And it's an early throw-in.
Yeah, first touch there was a bit heavy from Lance Lang. Obviously, they felt they could get some joy right off the bat, catching maybe Minnesota napping. But Lang's first touch lets him down there.
11 degrees, and that's about 51 Fahrenheit on the pitch today. Decent weather conditions, much better than just before the kickoff when we had some snow and rain. Now the sun's out and it's dry in Edmonton.
Yeah, today's the perfect example when people say if you don't like the weather in Alberta, wait 5 minutes. Because the temperature skyrocketed since maybe about 1:30 our time when, yeah, it was wet snow falling. So obviously it was much colder than 11.
Middle of the park for Rodales, just a bit too eager to win possession, concedes the free kick, and it won't be allowed like that. And Niasi is in trouble here, gets a yellow card for delaying things from that free kick. Bit of a soft yellow card, that one. Steele's going to take the free kick. Lifted up high to the far post, easy for Van Oekel. Against his old team, rolls the ball out to the left-hand side. Moses just pitching one over the top. It's too far for everyone, easy for Hildebrandt. Diaz on his left foot, a long ball forward. Campos will take it on the chest. He can help it on to Ramirez. Good interception by Rodales in the middle of the field, but picked back up by Pitchkolan, and now Ibarra. Davis and Diaz, and all the way back to Hildebrandt. Everyone in the Minnesota team looking comfortable on the ball, confident in this match. Still with a 1-0 lead just into the second half. That's going to be picked up by Roberts, finds Fordyce. Nice pass through the midfield for Jones. Jones looking to thread it through for Niasi, but just misread each other there.
Niasi stopped there. He was pretty sure that he was offside, so he stopped to stay onside, and the ball just skips past.
Canadian Championship match on Wednesday for FC Edmonton. You can still get tickets for that one at fcedmonton.com. Vancouver, good rivalry developing between the teams, and that's on Wednesday night.
Great equalizer in that game. I mean, Vancouver's going on a great run of form. They had a 0-0 draw yesterday, but near the top of the Western Conference in the MLS. The best of the three Canadian teams right now in MLS, and great challenge for FC Edmonton, but the great equalizer could be some fairly cold weather that's going to come in. It's supposed to come in on Wednesday night. Honestly, we hope it doesn't, because we'd rather have it be more comfortable for the fans. But it'd be challenging for the Whitecaps if there's some snow on the ground.
Free kick for FC Edmonton here. Rodales taking it quickly, trying to get the ball down the wings again. Lang with the cross to the far post, too high for Niasi. It's with Eddie Edward. Edward trying to have a run inside the box and was shouldered down for a free kick for FC Edmonton.
It'll be interesting to see who takes. Will Lang shift all the way over on that left foot? He can launch a curler, and we see he's already walking over. It's pushed by Justin Davis on Eddie Edward. Rodales putting the ball down, but I think most of us are figuring this is going to be Lance Lang, who's walking over slowly, who's going to have a take here.
Rodales just standing with his back to goal at the moment, talking to Lang. Could be either one of them, could favor the left-footed player. Steele's added another man. They've got a four-man wall. And Niasi's just drifting around the ball, too.
The question is it going to go towards goal, or are they going to try to drift this over the far post?
Lang strikes it over the wall and into the top corner. It's a beauty from Lance Lang. He strikes from the free kick and gets the equalizer for FC Edmonton. It's 1-1.
Hildebrandt gets a piece of it, but it's just not enough. And actually, he does very well to get over there and get his fingertips to it. But there's just too much power on that ball. And Lance Lang is not going to be denied. Yeah, just in the top corner, a perfect shot by Lance Lang. He's been dangerous all game long for the Eddies. We talked about the runs down the left side. He switches over to the right to take that free kick, but that's a nice comfortable bend with that left foot to curl it back towards the near post. And that's top corner. That's a world-class free kick by Lance Lang. And that's what he can do, and that's why so valuable to this team. He can beat you with his speed, he can beat you with his crosses, and he can beat you from set pieces.
Great shot by Lang, getting it up and over the wall and down under the crossbar. Quite the technique there to put his team back on level terms. Behind for a long time within the first 2 minutes, but they've been knocking on the door in truth.
And really, as Colin Miller pointed out too at the halftime talks, is that Edmonton, after that first stumble in the first few minutes, they've been the better of the two sides, and they have been consistently for most of this match.
Offside given against Jones just as he thought he might be able to strike at goal.
And on the run of play, they deserve to be level by now. I mean, they've had some golden chances, and Hildebrandt, you got to tip your cap to him, because he even got a piece of that Lang shot. I mean, it wasn't going to get enough to deflect it away with the power with which it was hit, but he got over there, and he's been very, very good today.
At FC Edmonton goal is another meal for families at the Ronald McDonald House of Northern Alberta, courtesy of Pasta Pantry. The other end of the pitch, Roberts making sure FC Edmonton don't concede a goal, deciding instead to let it go out for a corner, which Steele has gone over there to take. Steele's corner, playing very well. And Matt Van Oekel just takes the pressure off his defense. And then a good throw out to Fordyce. Well, he likes scoring against Minnesota, Lance Lang, because the last time the Eddies played them here, he scored in that game, one in which Chad Burt was also on the score sheet in a 2-1 win for FC Edmonton.
If memory serves me correct, they came back from behind in that game after being 1-0 down at halftime.
It's becoming a bit of a theme with FC Edmonton coming from behind.
Yeah, they become the cardiac kids of the NASL with these, with this spotting the opponent, the early advantage, and then roaring back. And again, when talking to Mark Dos Santos, Ottawa's coach, he said there's no team in the league to play against in the last 20 minutes like FC Edmonton. He said the fitness, the commitment to the way that they keep coming at you with their athleticism, it becomes relentless in the last 20 minutes of a game.
Throw in here for Minnesota for Davis. Finds Ibarra. Ball back on his left foot. Miguel Ibarra making a break down the left-hand side. Pitch Colin is going to fire a pass to the right wing, and Venegas, good control, takes it in his stride, and let's say throw in for Minnesota.
And now back on level terms, yeah, without jinxing it too much. Got to mention that Edmonton has not lost here at Clarke Stadium since July of last year.
Venegas' ball into the box. Roberts decides not to leap for that one, knew that no one was on the end of it. Lets it go out for a goal kick, and they've got some room on this right-hand side with Edward. Edward's going to flip that one down the line, and it's found Amiobi. Amiobi keeps it in play but loses the ball. They're going to win it back here through Jones, and Fordyce digs one out with the outside of his right boot into the path of Moses. Steele's done a good job there to read that play and take the ball off Moses.
Bit of a heavy touch there by Moses again to give Steele just a little bit too much of the ball to look at there.
Watson's going to be penalized for a challenge on the right-hand side. And that is going to win him a yellow card. Not sure that it warranted that, but yellow card there for Watson. Just a skirmish there with Campos. Just a little trip. Probably knew what he was doing after all, and the referee right on the spot with a yellow. And Watson hurt himself in that clash of knees, I think it was, with Campos, who's hovering around the penalty spot there with Watson, looking to get on the end of this free kick. Venegas. Up goes Van Oekel. He looks commanding when he claims those catches on the edge of the 6-yard box. Big throw looking for Jones, who's made the run away from him. Roberts had to wait for that ball to bounce. Rodales just gets that, decides to start again, puts the ball all the way inside the Minnesota penalty area.
Okay, the thing to note too here is that the teams here are playing for a little trophy called the Flyover Cup, the season series between the two northern teams in NASL. And the Flyover Cup is named for the fact that the supporters groups, the Dark Clouds and the Edmonton supporters group, sort of self-deprecatingly have said that the two cities are places where airplanes fly over but don't stop very much. You know, honestly, I think that's unfair. I've been in the Twin Cities a few times. I really enjoy my time there, and I think it's a great place to be. And just like I think Edmonton's a great place to be. So, but Minnesota's won 3 of the first 5, and there's a little trophy that goes to the team that wins the season series.
Van Oekel played in his fair share of the Flyover Cup matches, but most of them would be for Minnesota, and now he's in between the sticks for FC Edmonton. There he is with the purple goalkeeping shirt. Aniobi, the target, gets a flick on it. Ball up in the air again. Fordyce trying to judge it. Roberts calls to him from behind, gets the header away. Moses puts in a good challenge on Steele, but the referee waves play on. Moses has gone down injured, but they've got the ball back with Lang on the left-hand side. His back heel pass to Watson. Watson had already gone down, and in the end, Van Oekel just decides to put that one into touch. Watson's in a bit of trouble here, the Eddie skipper.
I think this is going back to that challenge on Campos from a couple of minutes ago, and we saw that that Watson was having a bit of an issue.
That one on Kareem Moses. Moses is back up on his feet. He's okay again.
But again, I think with Watson going down, he was planning to go down before to tell the guys to kick the ball to touch, and then he got a back pass played to him, and he had to go play that. But clearly he's a little bit concerned there. It looks like they're looking at his knee or his shin on his left leg. But again, it goes back. I think that's when he got fouled Campos, and Campos went over the top of him. I think there's a bit of a lingering effect. And obviously Minnesota will be ready if they know one of the experienced defenders on the Eddie's back line has to come out of the game. And we go back a couple of minutes, and there's that challenge with Watson fouling Campos. And there you can see he starts stumbling. Once he's talked to the referee, he's feeling it after that challenge. Then he goes down a bit, feels it. And I think, you know, we know Albert Watson. He's a gritty player. He's an honest player. So you know that when he goes down like that, he's trying to walk through it. He's trying to play through that pain. And there he needed some treatment there, and he realized I just can't keep going. Whether he stays in the game with some treatment, we'll see, or if he's going to have to come off, and Colin Miller will have to shuffle a bit in his back four. I've seen Albert Watson, they'll get his teeth knocked out in the game, and he still played. It's about as tough a guy as comes in this league.
You can see people still wrapped up a little warm. It's not the warmest day in Edmonton, but as we've mentioned a couple of times, much better than it was just before kickoff when it was black in the sky, snow and rain, and it's now 11 degrees is the temperature on the pitch out there. Watson is still on the sidelines receiving treatment, and they're playing at the moment with 10 men, FC Edmonton. So they've lost a bit of a hole in the center of defense there, and Minnesota looking to cash in on that with Ibarra. Edge of the penalty area, Campos, back to Ibarra, there's the strike. And Van Oekel makes the save.
You just wonder how long they're going to keep this at 10. Watson's still down, he's still stretching, he's still feeling it. Still seeing if he can go. Standing up now, but there's a warning sign playing with 10 men. Ibarra with a good look at goal, good strike, but right at Van Oekel. But you don't want to play this game too long. Down a man.
And what's happened is at the moment Lang has dropped into left back. Kareem Moses has gone into the center of defense alongside Roberts, and Rodales is just playing deep. Watson still off the pitch on that far side, walking around with the trainer, just trying to shrug it off.
And very quickly, it looks like Alan Zeeby's going to be getting ready to make his NASL debut. He's going to come in. Another academy product signed earlier this year by the Eddies, and he looks like he's coming into the game. He's dressed, ready to go. Looks like Watson's going to come out, and I think Kareem Moses is going to stay in the center back position. And you're going to see Zeeby come over and play fullback or on the wing. They're giving him his instructions now. And Al Hassan is also getting ready for Minnesota. So Khalif Al Hassan's coming in first. Johnny Steele coming out. And to be fair, Johnny Steele's been run ragged by Lance Lang today. Probably a little help to get that side of Minnesota's midfield a little more strengthened. Their right side, Edmonton's left. Zeeby coming in.
Zeeby moving straight into defense as FC Edmonton have to defend a free kick, and Al Hassan is over the ball as well. He looks like he's going to get his first touch by taking the free kick. Zeeby gone out to play left back, Lang moving forward again, and Kareem Moses staying in the middle with Roberts, who gets a header to that one. Roberts again challenging for the ball, gets something on it, but also the flag up for an infringement or offside, and FC Edmonton with the decision. Watson's walked all the way around the pitch, replaced by that man Zeeby, getting his first action for FC Edmonton. Another exciting story, another one of the young players getting a chance for FC Edmonton.
Yeah, you know, Colin Miller has said that he'll play the young players, he doesn't mind. And he's thrown into this game in a 1-1 tie at left back. Got a big responsibility now, this young man. But what a moment for him to get his professional game debut. Obviously played in friendlies and such, but league action, this is his first taste of it. And congratulations to him.
Terrific moment for Alan Zeeby. It'll be interesting to see how he equips himself in this match. Finally poised one in the NASL, 1-1. We're into the last 25 minutes with Rodales in possession. Just turns and finds Fordyce ahead of him. Nice passing there with FC Edmonton. The ball with Roberts. Fordyce is going to chip one up over the top for Amiobi. Lets it run into his path. He's tackled well by Diaz.
Ball just wouldn't sit down for him.
Lang on the left-hand side. Zeeby's on the overlap. And he's tackled. That's a good early action from Alan Zeeby because he's won a corner kick for FC Edmonton.
He gets a handshake from Lance Lang, just letting him know that was a good read, good overlapping run. You read that well. Trying to build the young man's confidence early in this game.
Corner for the Eddies, the 65th minute. Niasi, the set-piece specialist these days. It's going deep to the far post. Rodales heads it back in towards the danger zone. Hildebrandt on the spot to claim that one for Minnesota.
Eddie's doing a really good job picking up the runners right after that corner kick was snatched up to not allow Hildebrandt to get that ball out quickly and maybe start a counter.
Zeeby gets his head on the forward ball. And It's headed back to Van Oken nicely by Roberts. Trying to play the ball out from the back. It's Rodales. Niasi. Good break by Niasi. Jones is ahead of Amiobi. Niasi's trying to find him. Just got a trailing boot on that, but the flag up again against Richie Jones. Hassan tackled there by Fordyce. Drop for Ramirez on the edge of the penalty box. Fordyce is there as well, and now Jones looking for a free kick, not given. Ibarra playing wide to Al Hassan. Davis has made the break from the back, gets the cross in, and Van Okel, terrific hand speed there to deny pitch Golan.
Yeah, I think that was going in. I think Van Okel does very well. Davis does extremely well in that overlapping run. Al Hassan picks him out, and I think that's I think that would have been over the line.
Lang has made something of this one, getting in behind the defense. Lang has been forced wide, tries the shot, and Hildebrand didn't know too much about it initially, but the ball just dropped right at his foot, and he was able to pick it up from the second attempt.
There, I think Lang is just trying to belt that at Hildebrand. See, that ball spills into the middle. We all know the power that Lance Lang can put behind that ball. Just got a little too wide there, took away his own angle.
With Jordan on the left side. Nice play by Jordan, looks for the 1-2, but he won't get to that. Goal kick for FC Edmonton. We're approaching the last 20 minutes of the match. We're all tied up at 1-1. Lang with a chance at the other end. And here Van Okel.
Justin Davis, yeah, Justin Davis with a shot. Pitch Colin comes over to just really bother the goalkeeper, but still Van Okel's concentration is good and does very, very well on that stop. Because he has Pitch Colin's distracting him, stepping over the Davis shot. Nice little overlap, getting inside, getting Al Hassan to give Davis the ball. Al Hassan's been effective since he's come in. He's made a couple of very nifty plays.
Good tackle there by Rodales in the middle of the park to beat Jordan to the ball, and Niasi didn't make the most of it. And Diaz coming across, Ibarra helping that one along for Davis. A good open game at this point as Jordan tries to chip one over the top. A backpedaling Roberts gets his head on it, not cleanly. Helped out by Eddie Edwards.
I mentioned Al Hassan there. He's effective, former Portland Timber.
Fordyce winning it back on the edge of the area. Jones into the middle and Rodales. Rodales has gone over the top. Lang could be through here. Lang has only got Calvano ahead of him. Lance Lang still going. Squares it up for Amiobi. And he's not going to miss that one. Slides it into the back of the net. FC Edmonton have come from behind again. Amiobi on the score sheet. Set up by Lang, who scored the first. They lead Minnesota 2-1.
But let's credit Christian Rodales for that ball that releases Lance Lang. He picks out that run. And another thing that Amiobi does, as Lang is going long, Amiobi checked up, which caused defenders to freeze. And then Amiobi joined the run afterwards. Amiobi checked up as Lang went for a run. The defender stuck with Amiobi, allowing Lang to get behind, and you're right. That's just a beautiful cushion pass. Hildebrand has no chance, and Amiobi can't stop scoring. Mind you, that was the easy one. He could have had another one in the first half off the steal giveaway. But Edmonton again, the cardiac kids coming back. from a deficit. And again, later in games where they were showing that speed and athleticism, blowing around the defense, creating that chance.
Well, Minnesota just caught on the break there as they tried to press for a goal against Edmonton. Rogales with the ball over the top. Lang so dangerous in that position and so unselfish in finding Tomi Amiobi to make it 2-1. And Amiobi in a rich vein of form for FC Edmonton at the moment.
Both Amiobi and Lang today have just been terrific.
Both playing really well. Lang's free kick, definitely an early contender for a goal of the season in any competition. Beauty.
Yeah, I don't think on the free kick you could have faulted Hildebrand. Sometimes you could say the keeper is playing, maybe cheating a little bit over, not lined up his wall properly. I think Hildebrand had that played perfectly. I just think the power was just too much for him.
Got the power and the bend on it.
And top corner placement. It was just under the bar, just inside the post. I mean, you couldn't walk the ball to the goal line and say, I want to put it right here.
And the Tomi Amiobi goal is another meal for families at the Ronald McDonald House of Northern Alberta, courtesy of Asta Pantry. Pitch goal in the middle of the field. Minnesota looking to get back into it. Al Hassan, forward his feet, tries to thread it in behind the Eddie's defense. Away by Milan Roberts.
Here we see just before the corner is taken, we see from behind the goal, Amiobi sliding in. Great ball by Lance Lang, though. Amiobi was going to be the only player that won that. He sells out, slides, just has to make sure to get that on target. It's going in.
Corner kick for Minnesota here. It's gone up to the far post, and Van Oekel makes a very nice claim again for FC Edmonton. Kicks it on the half volley there, but it's gone all the way through to his opposite number, Hildebrand. Van Oekel can get such distance on those goal kicks. Looks like Minnesota's going to make another substitution when there's a break in play. They're going to have a corner kick here. It's Jamie Watson, midfield player, looking at coming into the game.
I know. It just started to rain again. See the umbrellas going out, the clouds have come back in. It's cooled off a little bit.
Corner kick for Minnesota, and it goes to the near post this time, headed away by Eddie Edward. And a throw in there for FC Edmonton. Here's where Minnesota will want to make their substitution, and Ramirez is going to be the guy to be replaced.
I don't think there's a better way to illustrate how terrifying Edmonton's speed on the counter is than that play. Niasi's chasing a ball out. The defender, I think that's Calvano, has time to punch that ball back in, but he's so worried about Niasi that he just pushes that into touch for an Edmonton throw. He just says, I don't want any part of maybe you picking this ball off and then taking it the other way. I'm not going to take that chance. I'm just going to play it safe and knock this into touch. He had men, he had players down, but he doesn't want to take that chance that Niasi's going to pick that pass off.
Good break by Jones to get the ball forward, and here is Niasi attacking down the right-hand side. Edward overlapping. Eddie Edwards' cross to the far post, cleared by Minnesota, but will be won back by Lang. Watson getting his first touch, the Minnesota substitute. Milan Roberts trying to let this ball run into touch, and he's done it successfully. Throw in for FC Edmonton.
But I know, Gareth, I think probably you and me over the years, We've probably been stopped and talked to I've lost count of how many times about FC Edmonton. Why can't they score? Why can't they score? And I tell you, this year, it's been a lot of fun. But this team has been able to manufacture a lot of scoring chances, a lot of goals. And let's be fair here, if not, Mitch Hildebrandt's made a couple of fantastic saves. Edmonton can have more than 2.
Yep, one of them coming off the post, a fingertip stop. Just the same in midweek, 3 goals, could have probably scored 6.
But that's what the coach loves, when the chances are coming. And Colin Miller said outside of that first minute of the game, he was very pleased with the way that they played. He felt that afterwards they'd taken control of the match. After the shooting themselves in the foot, basically.
Well, he described it as a bit of a Santa Claus moment, didn't he? Another gift early on, and it's strange that that pattern started to happen with FC Edmonton early in the games, but coming back from behind hasn't been a problem so far with the goals they've been able to score at the other end, and they're in that position again in the lead today by 2 goals to 1. We've got the last 13 minutes to play, but it's Ibarra at the moment. Ball to the edge of the box and Fordyce away from the penalty area.
But this team is confident right now that if they go a goal down, they can make it up. You just feel it, that the heads don't go down like it used to happen. The feeling is, okay, let's get it back. Let's keep playing our game. Let's keep doing the things that we do well. And, you know, you can say whatever about a player's run of form or if a player's going well or not, but no matter the sport you play, speed does not go into a slump. And when you have Niasse on one wing and Lang on the other, and just teams know what's coming. We see it week after week. They know these two are going to split up, and they're going to take on people, and the teams know what's coming, but they still can't stop it.
Good attacking play by FC Edmonton so far this season, and doing it again today, and with a 2-1 lead at the moment as Rodales wins the ball in the middle of the park again. Alvano does well to get it back for Minnesota. Roberts heading that one away. A drop for Ibarra. Tries to find Venegas. Lang trying to win the ball back. Drops in the end for Pitchcolan. Watson. Jordan making the break down that right-hand side, but ball taken away from him. It's with Lang again. Edmonton not committing too many players forward at the moment. Amiobi trying to make it difficult. Diaz coming out of defense. Finding Watson. Watson takes it nicely, looks for the 1-2. Not sure what he's appealing for there, but the referee not interested in it.
No, I think Eddie Edward has the right to be there just as much as Watson has the right to be there. To me, that's just a good defender taking his position there, shielding the ball. I think Watson might have been looking for it a little bit.
Michael Doney might come into the game pretty shortly as well for FC Edmonton, but at the moment, Niasse's making another move down the right-hand side. He's got Fordyce ahead of him. Into the last 10 minutes now. Niasse just deciding to keep possession, bringing it back to Roberts. All the way back for Van Oekel now. He's going to kick off the ground. Over the top, it's almost like he's got too much distance sometimes. Hildebrandt had to head it on the edge of his penalty area. So there's another fight for possession here, and FC Edmonton have won it, but in that, concede the throw.
Again, the center of the defense from Minnesota gets caught flat-footed there, and some miscommunication, and Hildebrandt's wondering what I guess I got to play this ball. I think he was expecting some help there that he didn't get.
Niasse being replaced by Michael Noni, who came on in midweek and actually won a penalty kick for FC Edmonton. He's also a threat down the right-hand side.
And Jamie Watson gets a yellow card. I think he was talking to the referee there. still going on about the incident with Eddie Edward a couple of minutes ago that I thought was a very good decision by Mr. Gamble to let that play go. Honestly, really have no qualms with the work that the officials done today.
Yeah, good performance by the ref. He's been on the spot for most of the decisions this afternoon. Into the last 9 minutes, Miguel Ibarra still looking pretty spry out there. Al Hassan to the edge of the box. Campos makes something of it, and they'll win a free kick on the edge of the penalty area. Sloppy one to concede for FC Edmonton. Good chance here for Minnesota.
That's a ball you got to clear out first time. They had a chance to someone get their laces through the ball and get that out of trouble. Now you got to know where the clock is too. 9 minutes left in regulation, probably a few minutes out of time. This is where you just got to get get this thing out of here. And to get Lang there for tripping Al Hassan. And now we'll see if Minnesota can replicate Lang's magic. In a very similar position, really. Almost identical. Is Al Hassan who'll be taking it?
Looks like Watson might fancy his chance as well. He's over the ball, and then Ibarra just hanging loose.
And Ibarra is there to pounce on anything that might bounce off the wall and come back.
It is Al Hassan. He gets it on target. Van Oekel watched it all the way and made a routine catch for FC Edmonton.
Did well drop it over the wall. Safe hands from Van Oekel. Very well taken. No rebound.
Watson makes a nice little trick down the left-hand side there. Gets tackled by Rodales, and the ball's away from him by Roberts.
Minnesota really pushing here. And honestly, where they are in the standings in the spring season, with only a couple of points, if they lose, really, we begin to say the spring season's done for them. They would be 9 points behind the Cosmos with a lot of games gone in the spring season. And really, it's almost stunningly, they'd be one of the first teams eliminated from the race.
And they've got themselves a penalty kick, it looks like here. Mora fresh on the pitch, replacing Jordan. Break into the box on the left-hand side. The referee pointed to the spot. A challenge from Michael Noni. And it looks as though Minnesota have got the chance to level things up. Noni from behind. Does he get the ball? Does he get the man?
Gets the ball, he gets the man, he gets both. I will say there, you can't be challenging. If you're Michael Noni, that's not a spot. Whether it's a foul or not, but you can't give the referee the opportunity to make that call. Justin Davis is presenting no threat there. The ball is rolling into touch. He's not going towards goal. You can't make this challenge here. Yeah, he gets all ball. That's not a foul.
Could be a little harsh, that decision against Noni.
And Daryl Fordyce has been thrown out of the game for arguing with the official. So Edmonton will be down to 10 men after this as well, and Daryl Fordyce will be suspended next week in New York. Not something the Eddies could afford.
All happening in the last 6 minutes here. Fordyce off. There's the tackle, I think. He might just get the ball there.
It's an awful call, but at the same time, Noni can't make that challenge in that spot to put.
And what happens here? Van Oekel against Watson.
Big moment for Van Oekel.
Watson, the substitute, has scored, keeps his composure, and it is 2-2. There's still some silliness behind the play there as Van Oekel pushes Watson, and there's some real problems going on out there. Campos goes down, and in the last few minutes, the referee struggling to get control of the players here. But 2-2 the score. Watson has leveled things from the spot. There's the penalty kick. Watson gets the ball. Van Oekel tries to get it back. A little bit of a skirmish in there, and in the end, Campos gets a yellow card. Referee just brandishes the card to him right now. 4 minutes to go. There'll be some stoppages for that. But it is 2-2 at Clarke Stadium. Noni trying to make amends for conceding that penalty, chasing on the right-hand side, but it's with the penalty scorer, Watson. Noni winning the ball fairly this time and winning a free kick.
Let's see what the Eddies can do. Down to 10 men. If they can conjure up something, or do they think about just hanging on at 2-2 now?
Header by Noni. Minnesota with a man advantage. Al Hassan trying to break away left-hand side, but conceding a throw-in.
And while Watson got a yellow card earlier for getting in Jeff Gamble's face about the non-call on Eddie Edwards' play, you wonder if that left an impression with the referee. And you wonder if Watson, that talk that he had with him saying, look, I think you missed one. I don't think the referee missed that one. I thought Eddie Edwards was clean. But I wonder if that plays in his mind on that play with Justin Davis and Michael Noni. I do think that's a clean tackle. I mean, looked at it again. The referee, to be fair, doesn't have the benefit of that replay, but it looks like it's all ball on that challenge.
Van Oakel trying to get things going for FC Edmonton again here. Zeeby on the left-hand side. And the FC Edmonton substitutes, finds Lang. Lang still going, but unfairly, says the referee. Free kick given to Minnesota. Watson stroking a nice pass to the right-hand side. Ibarra arriving inside the penalty area. Venegas getting around the back. There's the cutback. Headed away by Roberts. Another corner kick, and all of a sudden Minnesota looking to press for a winner here.
I will say, though, that despite everything that happened in that situation, Daryl Fordyce can't go and start screaming at the ref. He can't afford to get sent off and put his team down to 10 men.
There's the corner to the far post, and the referee has blown the whistle. Play's dead. Free kick for FC Edmonton. Colin looking for the ball over the top. There's Miguel Ibarra. Campos to the penalty area. Al Hassan hanging loose here. He's going to drive one wide. Didn't really get a hold of it. It was always going away from Van Oakel's goal. We're into the last 30 seconds of normal time here, but we will have 4 minutes of stoppage time after that. So this game, still anybody's. Approaching injury time. Ball's going to drop for Jones in the middle. Played it out wide for Lang. Venegas heads that into touch. It's a throw in for FC Edmonton. Lang takes it quickly, finds Zeeby. Now Rodales. Lang with the ball at his feet, left-hand side, tries to go around the outside. He's going to win a corner kick for FC Edmonton.
This is the Eddies' chance. We're down to 10 men. We're in time added on. if they can make something happen here, maybe get a ball in, maybe Tomi Amiobi with his leaping ability can get over the defender.
Here it comes from Lang. Drops for Roberts in there. Someone gets a head on it. It's bouncing around. Picked up by Hildebrand. Kicks out of his hands. Has to go over the top of the Eddie's defense and almost caught Eddie Edward by surprise, but a backpedaling header puts it into touch. It's a throw in.
This is odd. Jeff Campbell's actually making Minnesota go forward to take this throw, and they want to take it quickly. I usually don't see a referee say you're not taking a throw in forward enough.
Barra chipping the ball to the right-hand side in the area, away by Roberts. Venegas taking it down. And they've worked it to the right-hand side. Al Hassan in space. We've got an extra man on the pitch, but the cross picked up again by Van Oekel. Not his best clearance. He's given it straight back to Venegas. Noni gets a trailing boot on that one, and Edward will complete the clearance. But with a man sent off, it's telling out there at the moment. FC Ed looks like they're a man short, at least. And we're into stoppage time at Clarke Stadium. Rodales just makes a mistake inside the penalty area. Campos trying to get the shot away. Rodales doing everything he can. It's gone over the top in the end.
Yeah, Minnesota really sniffing the blood. You can see that they're pushing to try to get the winner, throwing all sorts of numbers forward.
Rodales could be on a breakout here.
Oh, wow. He had Lance Lang gone. Had he made that pass, he was able to thread that pass through. Minnesota's defense had fallen asleep, and Lance Lang would have been in alone.
And Lang letting him know that in no uncertain terms. Just a misplaced pass there. And at the other end, Minnesota in the ascendancy in stoppage time. It's 2-2. Another cross going into the far post. And another corner conceded. Minnesota just trying to ram home the advantage here.
But Minnesota pushing so hard to get all 3 points. Lance Lang was sitting alone at the halfway mark.
Venegas from the opposite side. Drives it low. And then all the way through to Watson again. He's tried to go around the outside this time and has won another corner kick. And that is the last of the action. A game finished, that's for sure. Very strong match from both teams, but FC Edmonton look to be heading to victory. 1-0 down early stages, back in front with Lang and Amiobi, but a late penalty kick giving Minnesota a share of the spoil. Stay with us for our post-game show. It finishes 2-2 at Clarke Stadium. Welcome back to Clarke Stadium, our post-game show. After 1 point for each team, a share of the spoils, 2-2 FC Edmonton and Minnesota. Let's go pitch side and join the Minnesota head coach, Manny Lagos. Manny, thanks again. You told us at halftime you were looking more from your team, which you got, almost 3 points in the end. Do you think a draw was a fair result here today?
I do. You know, I think it was a fair result because considering we got up early, I think, you know, credit to Edmonton. I thought they came back into the game both sides of the half and made it difficult for us. So just not enough consistency for us to get the 3 points. But I was very proud, at least at the end, how we really battled back to get something out of the game.
Just talk us through the penalty. First of all, did you think it was a penalty kick? And what about the way Watson finished it for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tough to say when I haven't had the advantage. Like maybe sometimes coaches have advantage to the replay. But ultimately, to me, It surely looked like it. It surely got to the end line, looked like he got in front of the guy, and the guy goes down in the box. And I think anytime you do that, you're opening yourself up to a call like that. And we had some dangerous opportunities. And again, I think anytime you go down in the box and you get contact like he did there, I think it's a PK. At the same time, both calls go both ways. I mean, Edmonton's first goal, no way that was a foul, and they get a free kick in a dangerous spot.
Okay, thanks, Manny.
Thank you.
Manny Lagos feeling like at the end of the day, a draw probably just about right, considering the way the play went. Here's the penalty kick. Now, this is what Manny hadn't had a chance to see.
It's a clean tackle, but I think what Manny said is right, that when you go to ground like that, you'll always take a risk because the referee doesn't have these looks that we do. It's a clear, clean challenge, but the referee doesn't have that advantage, and there's the call. Now, Coach, we have Colin Miller here, and I think he just saw the call too, and you know, obviously the first thing I'd ask you about is what do you think about the call?
Well, when I saw it in normal time, I actually didn't think it was a penalty either. I thought Michael got the ball. Now when I see it here, it's a criminal decision, you know, and I don't want to say too much. I don't want to take away too much from the Eddie's performance here today. It was an excellent performance from start to finish, as I said, against the best team in the league last year, and it's just criminal. Once again, this referee has actually apologised to me for a decision that he made last year, and he will owe me another apology. I've just told him as he walks off the park.
Now, but you talked about the good performance. This team really responded in the second half. Lance Lang was creating all sorts of problems down the left side. Perfect free kick, and then using that speed and athleticism we see pushing Minnesota back, and like you said, doing a lot of good things. Yeah, I thought, we went in at 1-0 down at half-time, and I actually praised the players for the way that they had played, and you know, as I said, our theme music should be Santa Claus Comes to Town, because that's the way we've started so many games this season. But after that, goodness me, it was a full of energy performance, full of chances. I mean, it's criminal that we've drawn the game, and by a shocking refereeing decision that we've ended up tying the game and hanging on at the end there. It's really disappointing from that point of view to have, you know, being relatively comfortable actually after we've given away a poor goal in the first half. You know, we limited. I thought Matt Van Ockel had his best game as an Eddie player today as well. So many positives, just really disappointed that we've dropped 2 points here. All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
So many things to talk about in that 2-2 draw today, including the sending off of Daryl Fordyce, but let's update you with the save of the game, brought to you by Sterling Homes. Could be a couple of contenders from Hildebrandt, but look at that one. Fingertip save. It's almost like it's in the net when he gets there.
Yeah, he does reach behind himself to get to that ball. He's not, his arm isn't at a 90-degree angle. It's well back to get to that ball. Fantastic athleticism.
A couple of other good saves by Hildebrandt as well, including one where he got a piece of an Amiobi shot that then ended up bouncing back off the post. So another game in which there were chances for FC Edmonton, but just couldn't convert enough of them. There's Matt Van Ockel against his old club, taking a point in a 2-2 draw. Let's take a look back at the highlights from the game today. Well, that early dreadful start, Ibarra with the first cross, then the second one. Is it a shot? Is it a cross? It's a soft goal.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter. Ball goes across the goal line. Colin Miller says that Santa Claus comes to town, and it happens too much to the Eddies.
Look at the response in the second half. Lang's free kick. That's a net buster.
Yeah, just absolutely fabulous. Top corner, power, precision, bend, had it all.
Here he is again, making a break down the left wing and just rolling it across for Tomi Amiobi.
Yeah, and again, another break down that left side. Edmonton had a lot of chances. And there you are. That's not a penalty. But again, you put yourself in a bad position. But clearly not a penalty.
Very well taken, though, by Watson. Beating Van Ockel all ends up to win a point for Minnesota. Another pulsating match at Clarke Stadium. 4 goals, 2 each, meaning it is a draw. But now 11 games where FC Edmonton are unbeaten at Clarke Stadium. We will be bringing you the match next week from New York, so join us for that one. FC Edmonton on their travels against New York Cosmos after another fine performance, just denied by a lick of paint there, Amiobi, and in the end, the game 2-2. Thanks for joining us. Good afternoon.